Okay, I'm going to show you how to register a motorcycle in the state of Vermont. I purchased a DR250 that was originally intended for off-road use. It is nearly impossible, or I will say it is impossible in the state of Illinois to get this registered for on-street use, even if you've done the modifications to it. However, you can get it registered in the state of Vermont even if you do not live in Vermont, and then transfer the Vermont registration to Illinois. Once they get it, they'll send you plates, they'll send you everything, and then I can convert that into a normal registration and then buy a Illinois title for it, assuming Vermont actually issues the title. But I'll try and talk about some of that. So what you need to use is Vermont form VD-119. Now you can just Google VD-119. It will bring you here, but this is the website where all Vermont's forms are. And you can see that it's a really long list. And I'm sure a lot of you know how to do this, but you can search on a web page for a certain term by doing Control F. And I get this little pop-up here where I can search for whatever term I want on the page. So I'm going to search for 119. As you can see, there are plenty of forms that have 119 in the name here, and I can scroll through these names. There's 5 of them until I find the one I need. So here are the instructions. Don't need that because I'm going to tell you how to fill it out. And so you'll click on Vermont 119. Now this form has there's a lot of fields that look like they need to be filled out, but they do not. I've filled this form out, sent it to Vermont. They've cashed my check. My plates will be coming soon. This will be the first time I've ever filled it out on my own. The first time I had a service do this for me, but it looks like I was successful on my own. So here's Vermont form VD-119. Actually, let me go back and show you something here at the top, because it's not on the form, oddly enough, but it's on the top of this page. This is where you'll send your form. Vermont Department of Motor Vehicles. When your form's filled out, this is where you'll send your form, as long as your bill of sale that includes your VIN number and purchase price of the vehicle. That's going to be really important. If you buy a vehicle that you want to get titled, make sure you've got a bill of sale, and that includes purchase price and VIN number, as well as the purchaser or the seller's name and address. You might as well get all that on there. So remember this, because it's not on the form. So now back to our form. What you're going to do is you're going to click on Owned, fill out your name, first and last name. You can print this out and write on it if you like, but the last thing you want to do is send this form into Vermont and then get the wrong VIN number printed in here. And then they issue you a registration because it just happens to be a legitimate VIN number that's not already registered to somebody else, and then you've got big title problems. So type it in here, triple check everything, especially the VIN number. So anyway, section 1, you're going to fill out your name, of course. EIN, you don't need that unless you're a business, and I don't know what the heck you do if you're business anyway. There's probably other stuff involved, maybe not. Put in your home address, city, state, zip. I don't have any previous names, so I don't fill that part out. And then over here on email, I went ahead and filled that out. I don't know if you can leave that blank. You might as well fill it out. And I put in my real phone number. Now here, it says Vermont license number. You don't have to have a Vermont driver's license number. Whatever state you're from that you're trying to get a Vermont registration for, you'll just put in your state abbreviation, those 2 letters from your state, and then that state's license number. And then, of course, you put your address in again with state, city, state, zip, fill out gender. Sorry if you have a problem filling out your gender. I don't know what the hell Vermont will do. It's a pretty liberal state. You could probably put Mickey Mouse in there and be perfectly fine. Don't know, don't care. I just put in the right gender. Date of birth. This next section, hopefully you don't have a co-owner. You're going to cause yourself a bunch of grief if you put somebody else's name on this title. I suggest leaving it blank. I actually put not applicable on my form on this name line and left the rest blank. I suppose you could leave the whole thing blank and be perfectly fine, but I should tell you what I put on my form because my form was successful. Section 2. Leave this section blank. No need to enter that because you didn't fill out this part. So no need to enter that. Lien holder name, not applicable. I'm not getting a loan on anything. If you're getting a loan and trying to pull this thing off, that's a big mistake, I'm sure. Most of these vehicles that you'll use this for, you're going to own outright. And then the name, and then lien holder address, of course, will be blank. All this stuff will be blank. Section 3B is an important one. This is the seller's information with the seller's address. And this is left blank. Date purchased, do fill that in. Vermont dealer number, this is not applicable. I left it blank on my form. So there are a lot of blanks in here. I'm sorry if I missed one of these fields. I'm trying to catch all of them so you know which ones to leave blank, which ones are important to fill out. Now, on to section 4. You're going to hit new registration. Plate number, so forth, all that blank. I'm dealing with a motorcycle. These forms are probably totally different on other things, so this is going to be specific to motorcycles. Click motorcycle, and now here is where you're going to put all the information off your motorcycle. Mine was a Suzuki, like I said earlier, Suzuki DR250, model year, body type. I put motorcycle here in body type. Color, I filled my color out on that. Mileage, I typed unknown, and then I clicked miles. They accepted it, no big deal. I don't have an odometer on mine. And then the important part, the serial number and VIN. I would check it, take a picture of it, check it against your picture, go out and check the bike again and make absolutely positively sure you've got the right VIN number in here. What the state of Vermont is going to do, they are going to check that VIN number and make sure it doesn't show that it's titled to somebody else somewhere in the nation. This is research that you can do on your own. I've never done that. The only time I've ever used these for forms were in cases where I knew the thing had never been titled for any other use. I used it on a brand new home-built motorcycle. And in this case, this is a motorcycle that was intended for off-road use. Initially, I knew nobody had ever titled it. Number of cylinders, fill that out, and then click used. And then select your fuel type. I'm sure it's going to be gas. And then on trucks here, leave that empty, of course. We're not dealing with trucks. Empty, 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 of course. Cycles, ATVs, this is important. Put your number of wheels in there, which most of the time is going to be 2 wheels. CC's 249 in this case. I didn't put 250. It's technically a 249 cc bike. I put in actual CCs here, and they took the form. Blank, blank. And now here on the purchase price, section 6. I paid $700 for mine. It's a wise idea to check the NADA value of that motorcycle and make sure it's not, your purchase price was not vastly different from the NADA value, because they may go in and check the NADA value, and you'll get in trouble if you paid too little, because you won't be paying enough taxes. Vermont is going to charge you 6% sales tax. So here I put 700. Credit for trade, no trade-in. I put a 0 here. I left all these blank because my purchase price was in line with an NADA value on the bike. This stuff is left blank, 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 blank. Registration. Registration fee is $48, and you'll see that if you print out the directions for filling out this form. It's October 29th, 2020. Registration, I put a 48 right here. Sorry, I'm not typing all these things in elsewhere in the form. I know this cursor's hard to see, but I'm trying to get through this as fast as possible and make this video as short as possible, but complete. So registration, you put a 48 in there. Tax, 6% times 6% of $700 is 42. Unfortunately, this form does not auto-calculate for you, but this is 0 here, or this is blank here, blank here, blank here, blank here, blank here, and then my total was $90. So I sent them this form, sent them a check for $90. I actually did type 90 in here, and then I sign and date it, and it looks like they have, nope, no co-owner. Sign and date this thing. So, sorry, getting a call. Let me turn that thing off. Apologize. So, you'll send this, this is just the same form again. Not sure why they do it twice. Here's some more data here. Don't look at all this. You might just get confused. But yes, there are a lot of blanks left on this form when you're done. It's perfectly fine. So you'll send them this form filled out. I'd probably send them both pages. I'd fill them out identically. Send them both pages. They did 2 here. I'd send them both pages filled out identically. And then send them your check for the amount, $90 in my case. Now, when you sign down here, you're signing that you certified it's properly equipped and in good mechanical condition. Mine was not designed as a on-road motorcycle, so there's certain things I have to do to comply with the state of Vermont for this, and then of course the state of Illinois when I transfer this over. You're certifying that you've put the headlight on and blinkers if required, the horn, so on and so forth. I'm not going to go through all that, but you do have to sign that you've done that, and also that you have insurance on it. And then when you fill all this out, write your check. That address is not listed on here, but it was the address I gave at the start of the video. It was Vermont DMV 120 State Street, Montpelier, Vermont 05603. It took exactly 1 month before they cashed the check, and I'm waiting for the plates to come in the mail. I'm assuming that'll be another week or 2. I'll have the plates and registration. Vermont will not issue you a title if it's of a certain age, and most of the time you're using this form, you're going to be using it on an older motorcycle that Vermont will not even issue a title for, and that's what really enables you to get a title, in my case, in the state of Illinois, because your registration is proof of ownership. Now, I wouldn't fill this form out and drive the motorcycle a year on the Vermont plates and then try to transfer it to a title in your own state. They're liable to claim that that's been too long ago. How do I know you haven't sold it to somebody else, etc., etc. I'm sure your own state searches that VIN number to see who any owners might be if it's had an owner before. Anyway, I take that to the DMV. I think they take my plates, even my Vermont plates. You might bring them with you in case you need them, but show them the registration. I'll pay the title fee in Illinois, and I'll be issued a title, and I'll be able to drive this thing on the street. Thank you very much.